From WRAL News and the Capital Broadcasting Podcast Network, this is your Coronavirus News Brief for Monday, February 22nd. I'm Brian Schrader. Some of North Carolina's rural cities and counties are getting some much-needed financial relief thanks to a $27 million grant that Governor Cooper announced last week. Wilson and Nash counties each will receive $900,000 to help with pandemic relief. Nash County will spend its money on creating more Wi-Fi zones, installing hand-washing stations in public areas, and helping people stay in their homes. The county is partnering with a nonprofit organization called Need Incorporated to get much-needed money to the people. Nichelle Cole is with the group.
With the help of this new grant with Nash County, I think it's going to be a bigger boost to help us increase the numbers of families we can help in Nash County.
$400,000 of that money will go toward helping people pay for utilities, rent, and mortgage payments. For the first time in decades, the Wake County Public School System is seeing its enrollment numbers shrink. It's a trend that school leaders say could continue far beyond the pandemic. WRAL's Keely Arthur explains why.
At first, she was supposed to go to public school and start kindergarten.
That was always Nicole Cribbs' plan for daughter Paisley. And then the pandemic hit.
Governor Cooper came out saying that the children would only be virtual.
Cribbs knew that wouldn't work for her family.
I work a full-time job. My husband works a full-time job.
So she took Paisley out of McGee's Crossroads Elementary School in Johnston County and enrolled her in private school Kids Are Kids in Clayton.
It is expensive, I will say that, but I rather her have that face-to-face learning with the actual teacher in the room and her having actual interaction with children because she's a very social child.
Enrollment in traditional public school is down 62,000 students just this year, according to Department of Public Instruction data analyzed by WRAL. Jessica Arner took her son Beckett out of Wake schools, she says, because of the constantly changing protocol.
We're going to be open for this amount of time. We're allowing this amount of students in. We're going to do virtual too. It just seemed very up in the air.
We're certainly disappointed that we had the decline this year.
Wade Martin, an assistant superintendent with Wake Schools, says the pandemic is largely to blame for the steep short-term decline. Yet declining birth rates and school choice could present challenges long-term, and that is why the district is doubling down on marketing efforts to attract and retain students.
We recognize that we're going to need to begin to think differently as we really highlight the many opportunities that all of our schools, not just our magnet schools, have for the families of Wake County.
Do you ever see yourself taking your kids back to public school?
Something we are willing to look at again if things drastically change.
And these trends are not just in Wake County. You can find out about what's happening with school enrollment across the state right now at WRAL.com. Well, if you found yourself wondering about the flu this season, cases are at the lowest they've been in more than 15 years. The CDC says that flu activity hasn't been this low since data tracking started in 2005. It says only 189 tests submitted to its surveillance program have come back positive this season. The decline likely attributed to more people staying at home, wearing masks, social distancing, and more hand washing. With your coronavirus news brief, I'm Brian Schrader. Thanks for listening.